Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Prototype. So since last mission there has been a giant explosion of infected zones, whereas at the bottom here is Confliction City. So let's take a look around this new horrible wasteland and notice something really out in the open that has changed. This thing! I want to say that this part is the university in New York, but I'm not entirely sure if it is. But we can kind of see that this place either is going to be just a simple set piece or is going to be really important in the coming missions. It's also really creepy. Like, this is no ordinary, like, meat building. It undulates. It pulsates. It's freaky. Hopefully this place will become important later on. But, since the safe house is no longer a place to go because it was kind of barged into by a leader hunter, and Dana's no longer around, and we have to rescue her because we have to remember to actually do that. We need to know more about the leader hunters, which brings us back to the morgue. Maybe Raglan knows something about it. But of course, first we have to go into our upgrades and get some more stuff. We're going completely power in terms of these next three upgrades. Let's finish up the claw power upgrades and maximize our ground spike damage. Secondly, let's get the next ability for the hammer fist, the elbow slam. The elbow slam is another slow ability for the hammer fist, but it's a rather decent ability. It's pretty much the same as the flying elbow drop, but it's a lot more powerful, and it's actually easier to pull off in my opinion, because you just have to go up into the air, lock onto your target, hit the heavy attack button, and charge it up and do lots of damage. And our third ability is the muscle mass throw. We thought we were done with throw abilities, but this throw ability has you making more damage when you have your muscle mass on and throwing stuff. So you can do more damage that way. Now, showing off the muscle mass throw doesn't really equate to much. We'll get a better example later on in the video when we're actually using it well. But the hammer fist. Now the thing about it is, like, I'm not even locking on, but it will go to the military targets nonetheless. It's pretty great. And of course, the ground spike. Now it's big, pointy, and kills a lot of stuff. Oh, these poor, poor people. One of them was twitching. Anyway. Nope. Especially when I go into this field and start the next mission.
I need to find the hunter that took Dana.
This hunter you're looking for seems to be a variant of the species. It fulfills a leader role. The other hunters take cues from it. If you can find and consume a leader, it may give you indications where the focus of the virus is.
My only concern right now is Dana.
Leader hunters. I know the one that took Dana. If I can find him, then I can consume him. Then I can find her.
Okay, I have one question before, as we're going to the next waypoint. Where did Raglan get those wonderfully drawn pictures of the leader hunters? I don't think that's information that he actually has access to. Now, you may not be able to glide with the armor on, but if you start gliding before you put the armor on, there is an animation with the armor on when you're gliding. That's an interesting thing. There's our friend. Alright. So, let's consume him. Because now he is actually vulnerable. Muscle Mass Throw is a good way of keeping your distance and taking down a good chunk of his health really quickly. However, of course, I want to be a bit more different with my abilities, so let's have a bit more variety in terms of our powers. Ground Spike is a mixed bag in terms of damage. We'll see it better utilized later on. It seems to affect depending on the distance between you and the ground spike. I know I can elbow slam a lot better than that. There we go. Consume! Or not.
Something's wrong. I can't. Why can't I break him like the others? This isn't working. Maybe Raglan can tell me what's different about the leaders.
Okay, question 2. Alex is saying that maybe Raglan can tell him more about the leaders. He was going to, except you're more concerned about Dana and then just walked off. So that's your own fault. You could have learned more about the leader hunters if you just would stay put. Instead, now we're fighting the reinforcements of the leader hunter, which is about maybe 5 or 6 different hunters. There's something about this portion of the mission that kind of was a bit of an annoyance. Mostly with these helicopters just kind of floating around being a nuisance. So it's good to dispatch helicopters as quick as possible.
We have a red scenario.
Of course, Blade is also good at taking down the health of hunters rather quickly, and then consuming them, you can get a lot of health back, and then take them down really quickly with a couple Devastators. The Tendril Barrage is just wonderful, because if things are close enough, and yeah, he's dead. If things are close enough, like, you can just take down so many enemies at once that it's like, why would you use any other Devastator? Decent damage, but let's see how well the whip actually does. I think I said before that the whip wasn't really that great, but it does a fair amount of damage, but just as if you're looking for quick dispatches of hunters, then the Blade is the way to go. This guy is the last one of them all. Street Sweeper isn't really good when you're only dealing with one enemy, too.
Gotta draw this thing to some place where Raglan can take a look at it.
something really weird happened with the camera at that point. I don't even know what. But time for another one-off part in this game, which is luring enemies. The only time you will ever do this is luring this leader hunter. See the interest meter at the top right corner? Well, that's how interested he is in terms of destroying you. And you want to keep it as high as possible. This involves him coming at you, attacking you, you attacking him, and making sure that the military doesn't attack him as well. At this point, the leader hunter is also invincible once again. So, hooray. We just have no luck in terms of taking down this leader hunter. And if he loses complete interest in you, luckily you do not have to restart the mission. All you have to do is just kick him in the face. Or the butt. That roar would be frightening if it wasn't all the way up in the air. Also, hunters, especially the leader hunter, really run quickly, so just sprinting like so is generally not enough in order to outrun him. Technically, I'm using the general strategy in terms of luring him to our destination, which is using the railroad tracks, which is really the only use I can ever see of this game in general for having these tracks here at all. Well, at least they're used at once. That's at least a positive. And I almost died there because that consume almost takes too long. You're not invincible. Just a bit more protected. Also, going along the railroad tracks, chances are the military are not going to pose a problem to you, so it's pretty much a straight shot to the other side of the city, and then ultimately to the north side, which is where our wonderful objective marker is. I can see how people have difficulty with this mission simply because you're relying on the hunter's AI to come after you a lot, and when he's usually between like 3/4 and a half interest, chances are there's going to be some random times. And stop levitating, hunter, thank you. Come after me, please, because we're almost there. And by almost there, I mean we're returning to a familiar spot that we were just at recently. That's right. And that's also right. Why is things levitating? Why are things levitating? Thank you. Stop levitating, please. 2 things in this video are enough. And do you have interest in me? Okay. I think we completed it. Good.
Alone at last, huh? It's just you and me now.
So now it's time for the muscle of this mission. A one-on-one fight with the leader hunter. The only difference really between the first fight in this mission and this fight is that you are absolutely one-on-one. There are no military and also no health pickups, so it's a full actual fight. Fighting the leader hunter is really dangerous because this guy can pull a punch on you so hard. So if you're looking to kill him quickly, muscle mass throw is a good way of taking down his health. Ground spikes really close to you also take a good chunk of damage, but that's also risking him getting close to you, which you don't want because he has 3 different attacks. He usually has the fury of swiping everywhere like the regular hunters do. He has the stomping attack like so, which you can do in sets of 3 or 4, usually. And you don't want to be near him when he's using those, because that can take down a ton of damage based on shockwave alone. And his final move is a full-on charge against you, which does really the most amount of damage. So overall, in terms of powers, have your armor on, because that'll give you the defense you need, because you won't be moving around as much because you're inside a base. And a combination of muscle mass throw, ground spiking, and blade will take him down very easily.
You just stay right there.
And that is the end of the mission right there. We don't even get out, or Raglan is not even here in order to examine him immediately. That'll probably happen next mission. But now that we have the leader hunter, what can we get from him, and how the heck do we consume him? Because apparently he just pushes us off. Well, maybe if Alex stays put. Then we can learn something more about the leader hunters and how to actually consume them. And then ultimately, learn where Dana is, learn where Green is, and, well, I guess the military is out of the picture right now because they don't really have much of a threat. It's all Elizabeth Green at this point with the leader hunters. So hopefully we'll learn how to consume them next time. See you next time, everyone. I'm on a bus to freedom! Stealthily going away from the city. Goodbye, New York. Or not. Great. Screw you, car. Screw you.